Here we go. We're live. It's great to be live. It's great to be with Robert Romano, the creator of Comicsgate.org. Yes, Comicsgate is an official organization now as we speak. Great to be live. Great to be around you guys and having a little bit of fun tonight. Some of these names, Rob, I just want to say hi first to some of the great guests that are dropping in the chat saying hi. Past Master Dan, always good to see you. You threw us a like. You probably can't make it until later, but it's great to see your like and your message, Past Master Dan. Lord Nemesis, friend or foe? Probably foe, but also a friend. It depends on the day. You never know. Mr. Yanafui, honorable to see you. Great to see you again. CG only. You know, it's funny you bring that up. I didn't really regard this as CG only necessarily, but I don't know. Robert will tell us all about it. Who knows? It could very well be. Peter, great to see you. Always a pleasure. RC Gates, great to see you. It's a lot of great people here tonight. Great to see you guys. Billy, great to see you again. I've been seeing you around. Great to have you live. Vault, good to see you too. Jason Black, hail Robert. He knows what you're all about. You know Jason? Okay.
I sure do. Jason's been a tremendous help to putting the site together.
Oh, really cool. All right. I did not know that. Jason, thank you for helping Robert. Like, you needed my thanks. You're already down to get things going. And Eshin Scream says, make mine milkshake. We shall do that. Milkshakes all around. All right. And of course, Leg Kick. Great to see you too, my friend. You know, Robert, you and I have known each other a while. It could be 6 months, could be a year. Time flies, hard to say. But I wanted to talk to you about Comicsgate.org. Yeah, this war campaign doing something silly. I wanted to talk to you about Comicsgate.org. I don't know what you're doing with the site. I've heard a couple people talking about it. You've kept me informed. It's not that you're not telling me what's going on, but you know, you got to see things like we have to see things a few times, me more than other people, to kind of understand what it is and what you're trying to do. But I know it's something to help Comicsgate and independent creators. So first, thank you for that. Thank you for, you know, caring enough to put the energy in, and thanks to Jason Black too, who's helping you. So what is Comicsgate.org? I'm on it right now, Comicsgate.org. What is it? When I ask you what is it, what would you say?
I'd say that Comicsgate.org is a comprehensive website for Comicsgate creators and Comicsgate customers and fans, people who want to try to find new projects that maybe they haven't heard about. I wanted to find a way to get everyone who's hashtagging Comicsgate on Twitter, be it creators and people who have YouTube channels who have guests on to promote Comicsgate projects and Indiegogo projects, all in one place to make it easy for fans to find new projects, again, that they probably haven't heard about yet. I know there's a creatorgo.com/CG is another great website. Nods AI Bot's done a tremendous job with that to track all of the projects and how much money they've raised in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, no, we really rely on him. Yeah, he's great.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
absolutely. And Nods AI Bot, Anthony at Dark Gift has been helpful. Jason Black has been other guys in the community who have been helping to, you know, give me feedback as I was going through the alpha stage of this project last spring. I wanted to make sure that it could work, that you could get all of the YouTube videos and channels streaming seamlessly onto the website automatically in the background. So every single day when you go through Comicsgate.org, you'll see the latest videos. If you scroll down, you'll see the projects, which automatically update randomly. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, please do.
Kind of
you can navigate. You can navigate better than me. For sure.
What I want you guys to see on the website, and I could just click on.
So this is all your idea,
things, if that's okay with you.
Of course, this is all your idea to do this, and you did this. Why did you do this? Because you just want to support any way you can. What possessed you to do Comicsgate.org?
Well, I would say the idea struck me in about November of 2019. I was.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm a
Go ahead.
very big interrupter. So everybody, I'm sorry that I'm big on interruptions here, but you guys know me. We are 5 minutes into this stream and we are like so down to business. This is the most productive 5 minutes I think I've ever had. Maybe in life, because we're really kind of getting into it now. I'm just looking at it like we're live for 5 minutes and we're talking about what the site's about. You're going to share it and you're going to go through it and describe it. It's amazing. So we're doing phenomenal here. So we're adding you to the stream. You're going to go through the site and tell us what we should know about it. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy and try not to interrupt. All right, hit it up, brother.
I appreciate that, Adam. And thank you to your audience for tuning in tonight. This is Comicsgate.org, where you can find the latest Comicsgate projects. This part right here, the Comicsgate projects, this updates automatically every about 8 minutes. So every time somebody comes to the site, chances are they're going to see a different display of projects that come up here. And so I just clicked over to page 2 to show you that you can actually page through this.
Now, when you're saying
slow, my internet, I'm afraid. I probably
don't worry,
shouldn't have pushed that button.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
So this is updating automatically. I see Cash Grab. How does a new campaign get on here? Is it from Creator Go or the CG tracker from Creator Go guys, or how do you know when there's a new campaign?
I try to identify projects. I look on Twitter for new campaigns. People, when they get a new mailing list, that's when I try to identify them, and then I'll just plug it in under their creator page. So, for example, if you click on creators, you go over to creators, and you can start paging through alphabetically. You find your favorite Comicsgate creator, Adam Post, and then you go to Adam Post's page, and you're going to see all of his videos automatically displayed.
Posty.
You'll find his latest project, the Mermaids comic. You can just click on the YouTube button and that'll automatically subscribe them to your YouTube channel. You can follow Comics We Love on Twitter. There's the Comicsgate Facebook page. Here's the College of the Dead graduation day. And so the idea is to get the latest projects for the Comicsgate creators and their the projects and their latest videos automatically displaying on Comicsgate.org automatically. So every time you upload a new video, Adam, it automatically appears right here on your page here, as well as the homepage. The moment you upload your video and the Comicsgate.org detects it, it'll automatically be the lead story on Comicsgate.org. I thought that this would be helpful because say you want to just, what did I miss in Comicsgate? It's like I can't keep up with my Twitter notifications. I can't keep up with my YouTube notifications. What are the latest videos? Just go to Comicsgate.org and you will find over 150 creators who are making YouTube videos every single day. Just yesterday alone, 43 videos by Comicsgate creators were produced and were automatically imported into Comicsgate.org. So basically, if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see, oh, wow, there's 404 pages of Comicsgate videos. I backdated it. It goes all the way back to 2018. And in some creators' cases, if they had comic book related material, like their artist or they had drawing streams, even if they went back a few years, I just put all those there as well. Again, to make it easier for people to find creators and to find their projects. And so I've imported over 200 projects. Not everything's active though. So what I try to do is if something's still in demand, if something's from the mailing list stage to in demand, I feature it. And then when it's no longer, when the campaign's closed, then I remove it from the front page. So that way the campaigns that are still funding at some various stage, whether they're looking for new people to sign up or they're in demand, I want them to be able to, fans to be able to find that. I created a little help wanted section here. I thought people would want to create accounts and post on here. And the truth is, Adam, this website could do so much more than what it already does. But just to kind of keep the tour going here, I've created a Comicsgate Facebook page, which I'm trying to bring people from Facebook. Maybe they love comic books. Maybe they fit kind of demographically, share the same characteristics as people who already follow Comicsgate on Twitter or YouTube. And maybe they would like it on Facebook as well. So the idea here is to maybe not to widen the audience, but just to find more people who are like us, who maybe have never heard of Comicsgate and maybe don't watch YouTube videos. I know that's a big challenge for some people. Wow, here it wants me to sign up already. But you can just see that just like the website, this is automatically pulling from the website the most recent content and projects. As they post on Comicsgate.org, they will go automatically to the Facebook page here. And so I just wanted to make it easy for folks to find the latest content and to branch out.
So
similarly, I've just recently go ahead.
Do your posts sync with Facebook so that when you put something on Facebook or when you put something on the site, does it automatically also post on your website or your Facebook page?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't have to manage the Facebook page. The Facebook page manages itself, and the website manages itself. It automatically takes those YouTube videos in, and when they come onto the website over here, they will automatically then find themselves onto the Facebook page. I've also got Parler, came back. The Parler app that was deplatformed by Amazon, Apple, and Google. They just came back. And I also have a Parler page going for parler.com/profile/Comicsgate. And it too, I worked with employee actually over at Parler to automatically import content from here to Parler so that people who follow us on Facebook or Parler soon, I'm still in the beta test here, so I'm going to try to get it going for a Twitter account, probably not my own personal Twitter account, but to just automatically import this content and all the projects onto a Twitter account so that they display automatically. So if someone's like, oh, what's Comicsgate? Hopefully this stuff will start percolating into Google. And when people start looking for Comicsgate, the goal is to help it, instead of these negative Washington Post stories from 2018, but they start actually seeing Comicsgate creators, of which there are so many. I mean, there's so many you can even keep up with it. I couldn't possibly keep up with it. I would have to hire a social media team, to work, 24/7 around the clock just to keep up with everything that's going on in Comicsgate. And that's the real message, I think, for your audience, which is that Comicsgate is bigger than you think it is. And there's so many more creators than you maybe have heard of, and so many more projects than you probably could possibly afford to back. I've personally backed over 200 projects, more than I can possibly even read. As I was in all my free time, I've been just working on this for the past year just to get this website going, because I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I went to art school a long time ago, and I wanted to make a comic book. I used to do Dungeons and Dragons publishing, D20, back in the early 2000s. I was like 20 years old. I was like, oh, I want to make a campaign setting for Dungeons and Dragons. It's one of my great loves. I'm just a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, and I was a big X-Men fan. I grew up reading this stuff, and just since I was like 10 years old and playing the old strategic simulations games on the Commodore 64. And so, what are my true loves? I like X-Men and I like Dungeons and Dragons, and so I wanted to put it together and say, I'm going to make a Children of the Grave project. I'm going to bring back the campaign setting. This is my work right here. This is Children of...
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, on the Facebook page, you have 2,000 likes already, which is pretty damn good for a Facebook page. So guys, we can definitely help out by liking the Facebook page. Vault said he's aware of some projects that are not yet on the site. So do you have a uniform way, like if Vault wants to do a contact or submit a page, how do people submit a project? Now IndieCron does something different where they're just doing a whole independent listing of, I guess, creators and indie comics and or whatever, but some of this functionality about importing videos and things like that and integrating with Facebook. I don't think that they're doing that, which is great that you guys that you're doing this.
No,
but
it's very difficult.
Yeah,
it took a lot. This is how impressive. You go to comicsgate.org/register. And then you can just automatically submit that, and then to verify your email address. And this will give you just give your creator name as you would display on Indiegogo. So if you're using a pseudonym, give me your pseudonym. But first name, last name, email, create a username. That way you can log in and actually manage your account. Not too many people have actually taken advantage of that feature, but what you do is then you're going to send me a Twitter DM to Robert_J_Romano on Twitter, and that will verify your email address. And then you will have told me what your YouTube channel is. You'll have told me what your Twitter is. That's what most creators seem to be on Twitter and YouTube. So it's like, okay, give me your Twitter, give me your YouTube. That's where comic is basically. And if you have a project page on Indiegogo.
Well, now if you're just someone who's like a backer or someone who just loves CG, like Violent is amazing and supporting CG all the time. Volt Cobalt, the guy from Redback. I've seen a lot of you guys, around. You guys are awesome. So if someone wants to just say, hey, this isn't my project, but I know this like Company Men you have featured, but let's say if it wasn't featured, if someone's like, hey, I see this CG project, just want to make sure it's out there.
Right.
Is there a way is it like a webmaster contact or like here, drop the name of a project here?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just
your audio broke up.
Yeah. At sorry, you can email me at media@comicsgate.org as well. That's another way. Also, if you want to get the projects and the videos in your inbox every day, you can just subscribe via email, and that will automatically send out as well. That's a good way to get in touch with me. So yeah, you can hit me up on Twitter is really the easiest way. So if you just look for Robert_J_Romano on Twitter and you say, hey, Robert, just DM me and say, I've got a new project, or my buddy's got a project that you haven't added to the website yet. Again, I don't know everyone. And so it was the biggest challenge in trying to just locate as many creators as possible who were hashtagging Comicsgate. And there's well over 150 and probably more than that.
Wow.
Because I don't think I got everyone. And so it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Comicsgate is bigger than you think it is. And so that's kind of what I learned there. And it's like, well, what would be a cool way to promote everyone's channels? That's kind of the idea here, is to help potential subscribers to find new creators they haven't heard of and hit the subscribe button for those. And not just we love the bigger campaigns as well, and everyone's sharing in that success, I believe. And I believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and so that's why I wanted to emphasize maybe more people on Facebook that we can find, and other venues. Maybe Parler could be a place to go. I know that they have a pretty strong stance against cancel culture now that they themselves have been canceled. So I think that. Now, can that be a safe place? That's kind of strategic. And it's like, you want to be in mainstream platforms. It's like, how far is the mainstream going to drive us to the fringes where then nobody can see us, right? So it's like, oh, we don't like Facebook. They deplatform people. And that's surely true. And, I don't support that. And but I believe that, there's so much quality content on Comicsgate. There's almost nothing to cancel people over on Facebook over what's being posted here. This is just pop culture commentary, talking about comic books, how to create comic books, the art of comic books, the craft of it. I think all of that's really cool. And it's just an amazing thing that Comicsgate got started here. And as soon as I found out about it in 2019, I was writing about it. And I wanted to just be involved. It's like, wow, I always tell my boss at my day job, it's like, oh man, the country's really fucked up right now. I should have gone to comic book school. And it's been a running joke for like 10 years at the office. And then Comicsgate appears. And I'm like, whoa, I really should have gone to comic book school, except I shouldn't have, because then I would have been canceled too, probably.
All right. So let me ask you this. So I think I could be reading it wrong, and I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I think suggesting projects is something that would really you could help give it exposure and make people, even more aware. I wonder if you could have just like a very simple contact form just for suggest a project.
Oh yeah, I could create one of those. Where should I put it?
All right, it's getting complicated now. I don't know. We should ask Jason Black. He would know. Anywhere, or maybe even at the top.
He would probably have a good idea where to put it.
Well, like where you have subscribe creators, register, login. I think even
I could throw it on the sidebar. I think on the sidebar. So
maybe on the sidebar, suggest the Comicsgate project, and just see.
Absolutely.
You can see what it does. Now, do you collect you do have a mailing list or an email list that ties in with if people subscribe? Or how does that?
Absolutely. If you go to the front page
Okay.
there, yeah, you'll basically get everything that's displaying on the website. So every time a creator posts a new video, right now in the beta, we're sending out the videos every single day. And so I think it goes up to 50. So you'll get 50 things in your inbox. So basically the most 50 recent things that you didn't see in your yesterday's email.
Wow.
Pardon me. And so that's what the mailing list is. And then what I'm going to do is have a second email go out. That's just going to be projects. So I'm kind of experimenting on social media with how often do you post a project? How often is too much, where algorithm's not going to treat some posts favorably. As I mentioned yesterday, over 40 videos were posted. So then I'm starting to think like, well, that's cool if you go to the website and you can see all these projects and you can see all these videos, but that's probably too much for social media. Like Facebook is the algorithm probably frowns upon so much content coming in just at such a quick clip, like anything more than like a post an hour. The algorithm doesn't treat it well. So that's kind of a struggle right now. Just trying to figure out like what's the proper balance, right? Maybe it would be better if there were news stories here, if we had written content, that this was a blog and a news site, and then you call attention to projects that way. That's something I want to start delving into myself. I'm a writer, and so can I do some commentaries or talk about things going on in pop culture, things like that, and make it kind of like a full-fledged news site that has all this stuff operating in the background? Would that be a better way of driving traffic? Because the real key, I think, for Comicsgate to grow, beyond YouTube, there's a huge audience on YouTube. So obviously you want to be on YouTube. That's the place to be. If you're in Comicsgate, that is where it all happens. That's where the magic happens. And so are there people out there who don't watch YouTube but might found out about this? And I think there are.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. The most frequent updates to this are the new YouTube videos, right? I think it froze you a little bit.
That's correct. And then as soon as I find new projects, I import them. Oh, that's okay. And so, yeah, the videos come in automatically, and then new projects, I'm having them republish. Every 8 minutes, this updates, and then every 30 to 60 minutes, I'm experimenting with 90-minute intervals. Then the project will kind of automatically republish and then appear on a social media page as well. And then in terms of submitting a project, the one key to that is I need to link it to a creator. Otherwise, it's not going to really appear anywhere. It's not going to have attribution to it. And so one thing I try to do is to, kind of keep it clean and keep it simple. Anyone who hashtags Comicsgate on Twitter and or promotes CG projects on their YouTube channels, because if you have a YouTube channel that promotes Comicsgate, definitely want it here. That would be the thing to submit. So I would just, when I create this little suggested project thing, I would probably also want to have, because that was one of the Google things, was finding everyone's YouTube channel, finding everyone's Twitter, so that when you go to look up Adam Post's page, you can find all of his accurate information. And so that was the goal there, so that you can definitely get in touch with the creator. And then I wanted something that could show you also like what's going on, where else in Comicsgate you can find things that are going on. And so I just thought this would be a good tool for fans to be able to keep in touch. And and I'm open to suggestions. This is a beta test.
It's cool.
And I hope the community is really enjoying support so far. It's, frankly, been overwhelming and really humbling. It is cool.
Well, it looks like there's a great effort to this, and some of what you set up system-wise, probably gives you a lot of leverage with, like importing the videos. If it's being done automatically, that's fantastic. Yeah, this is cool as heck. I think this is a great thing for us.
Yeah.
And the site just keeps getting bigger and bigger as we do more videos and you find new projects. And so the core of how it's organized is it's really organized around.
I'm back in.
Okay. It's organized around the creator. It seems like the most, right? Because you've got all the projects and things like that are queued to the creator.
Well, that's where the content's coming. Absolutely. And so when you go to a post, so if you click on any random post, you're going to see what their projects are on their own sidebar. So even if you do on your video, you're going to see your projects. If you click on their video, you're going to see their projects in their sidebar as well. So I think that's another advantageous part of the setup as it is, such that everyone that way when it would be self-serving. For example, if it didn't do that, if it was like, oh, sign up for just my mailing list, and no, I don't want to do that. I want really legitimately help others thinking about doing a comic book. What was I looking for? What kind of support system? The CG network. You always tell your audience about it. How could we kind of make it visible so that to the outside world, so that if you're not on Facebook or not on Twitter or not on YouTube, maybe there's other ways you can find it and make it easier to say, oh, there's Adam's YouTube channel, there's Adam's Twitter account, and make it much easier to find all that in one place. And so I hope this is helpful to the community, and that y'all are signing up for the mailing list, and then you can find a project that you haven't backed yet, and that's like, oh, that's cool, I want to check that out. Nights staying up, trying every feature, everything you see on there, like everything from like the graphics to how does the YouTube channels function. Everything that's displayed there was me probably spending an hour or so, or even longer, trying to learn how to code something new, because I'm not a professional web developer.
What do you do?
I'm a writer.
Okay.
And so I don't. That's not like I do public policy analysis and communications in the Washington D.C. metro area.
Okay. Wow. So nothing to do with web stuff. Well, this is great. So this is Adam Friended's page.
Well, we have a website, but I mean, like that's kind of you learn a little bit of PHP. Yep. And so, all his most recent content will be there, and then in the top right corner should be Supervillains Anonymous.
Yeah,
it should be there. I missed it if it's not there. It should be there.
Supervillains is on there.
I think it's there. And all of the other stuff. Absolutely. And so I mean, maybe it's like, what is it like? It's it almost operates like a social media network. If look at it like these are profile pages. And what was the biggest key was I didn't want to have to force people to sign up for anything. I just wanted to find people who said they're Comicsgate and put them, and just get them out there in public service.
So what we want to do is,
because it's sort of like trying to herd cats.
Yeah, you want to drive people to the page. So if you think about it, like, is this page shareable? Like, so here's Adam Friended. Everybody loves Adam Friended. So is this page itself shareable? Where if I want to say like, hey, you should check out Adam Friended's
the buttons on
profile. So if I go Twitter,
push the button, see what happens.
Adam Friended, Comicsgate.org. Okay, cool. Now, can you have this feed to like, I don't know how to, if you have an image associated with this, it may be, there's a limit to what you can do easily.
Yeah, everyone's got a featured image. If you click share on these things, I just took probably the creator's either Twitter profile picture or their YouTube profile picture, and then I made that the featured image.
Oh, I just shared it. There it is
on any of the creator pages.
Oh, that's great. This is great. So I just shared.
And again, it should automatically. Yeah, so that way, whenever you share, if you share a video from Comicsgate.org, that will display the featured image as well. And then what I also did was make it so that when you click on it on a video in your smartphone, for example, you say you go to Comicsgate.org, you click on a video, and then you click to play it, it's going to automatically flip you over to the YouTube app on your smartphone. to make it, because that's the place to really watch a video. Like, who wants to watch a video on comicsgate.org when they could do it in their YouTube app? And I think most people are going to be on mobile. So I tried to do as much as possible. The website is actually totally different on the, not totally different. It uses a different template on the mobile version of the site so that it displays differently. It'll just show you the most recent video, a random project, the next most recent video, another project, and so forth. And I think the front page of comicsgate.org on your mobile device probably goes on for like 100, like it'll show you 50 projects and 50 videos. And the projects will never be the same. It's always going to automatically, randomly be there. So I wanted to be fair to creators.
I just shared the Adam Friended profile on Twitter, and it does import his profile image there with his laser eyes, which is cool. It says Adam's Friended, comicsgate.org. Maybe you could add a line of text. Maybe you can add a line of text that says just you know, what I'm saying is like if that would say like, hey, check out my profile on comicsgate.org, you know, or hey, check out this Comicsgate creator profile on comicsgate.org. What I'm trying to think of is I'm trying to think of ways that we can be helpful to you.
You could say, it could say that.
Yeah, just like
sure. No, I could code that. I could code it to say something. Yeah, a special message.
Just something that's not anything special for Adam.
It could say anything, as a matter of fact.
Just for people named Adam. No, for everybody. Like,
no, it would have to be generic.
Yeah, no, it would be generic. But what I'm saying is if it's something where we can be of help to promote awareness for the site, you know. Oh, Hex Harper. Hey, good to see you, Hex. Yeah, I think it would be kind of neat. And then other people would also see like, oh, these guys have profiles on comicsgate.org. I should get a profile on there. You know, just something to get interaction with the site going as much as possible. But yeah, it's great. I really appreciate you doing it. And I think we can think of a couple of ways to just try to get the word out a little bit more and get it a little bit more robust and just start.
Sure. You know, I think building the mailing list is going to be the real key there. And building up the social media following for it. It could be that, you know, like if creators want to promote this, like, oh, what can I do to help Robert promote this website? When you create a video, you could share the comicsgate.org version of it on Twitter. And that could be a way of saying, hey, there's a way to look at this. And then when they go to watch your video on comicsgate.org, they're going to see all your projects there. So that was kind of the idea, was like, oh, well, you know, maybe we can incentivize everyone to kind of point to this throughput, you know, kind of network location for everything. And it's unofficial. I mean, this was something I did in my spare time. And I hope, you know, but it's very functional, and it's very powerful for a website to be able to do what it's doing by, you know, pulling the videos from over 150 different channels and, you know, display them all seamlessly, have them upload, have them get the featured image, have them get the exact title, have them get the description from YouTube to display there. And then to fling that information over to the social media that's elsewhere. And my goal is to get 10,000 people this year to like comicsgate.org on Facebook. And I believe that it would take probably about 50,000 or 100,000 followers on a venue like Facebook or Twitter or Parler, or just all combined, to really drive significant traffic to the website, such that it will be very useful in potentially, you know, finding new subscribers and, you know, boosting revenues for creators. Because what's the incentive to participate in the website? It's like, well, you know, it's nice that you did this, Robert, but is this going to, you know, get me any new sales? And the answer is probably not immediately, because I just launched it fully into the beta version in December.
Well, it's a good resource. I have heard people talk about it a little bit, which is a big deal, you know, and I think the idea of it feeding YouTube videos constantly is really great, because it really is impossible to keep up with all of our YouTube subscriptions. So to have it all be in one place is great. You know, and you're going to
are hard to manage.
Yeah, they're impossible to manage. You know, which is why, like, if you don't see something live, you're probably not going to see it, or when it first comes out, because there's too much content. There's too many things going on. But
that's
yeah,
the thing.
I think it's great.
Are we flooding the market, Adam?
With what? With projects?
With projects, with videos? I mean, it's
I don't
so
think
much
so.
bigger than
You know what it is?
No?
Is as long as the market for videos, for example, people watch what they want to watch. It depends what people are trying to do. I'm not expecting that these videos that I do when I interview people about what they're doing in comics and related to Comicsgate, I'm not expecting that to be a huge video. I'm just expecting it to be useful for people to network, and hopefully we share some ideas and information, because like you creating this is great. People have different things that they can offer that help each other, and other people really appreciate it. It also keeps people encouraged, which I think is a great thing. And sometimes we can solve problems or make a connection for something. A writer can find an artist, or somebody could find a printer, or whatever the heck it might be. Who knows if this takes off or not? This one project, you don't know, but it really, it's a good thing as long as people are doing stuff that they care about, and they're not just doing it to get rich quick, because this is definitely not a get rich quick business. This
is a passion project. Comicsgate
yeah.
And the network, everything you guys talk about, like getting, finding linking artists up with writers, and just the amount of outpouring of support that comes from all over the community when somebody has a new project. I mean, it's really inspirational what you guys are doing here. And so, that's why I wanted to, help out in my own little way. This is my way of hitting the share button.
Yeah. I mean, it is inspirational. It's great to be around. It's not exhausting in any way. It's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of serious opportunity for people. It's just, but everybody has to kind of, you find out with working on comics, and especially promoting them through YouTube like this, direct to consumer, people, they want to hear like why you really are passionate about your project. They want to really hear that you're behind your project and you're focused on it, and it means the world to you to get the project out. People are willing to really support and help that. And that's great. I was inspired to get back into publishing comics from the early Comicsgate projects and all that creative energy that was there. And, I'm really glad I did. I met so many great people doing it. And I think it's a great opportunity for everybody. As far as the market getting flooded, it depends. Here, my current project is the Mermaids. So I'll show you the Mermaids. The Mermaids right now is just under $11,000. We are funded. Hey, thank you, my friend. Thank you. We are funded. It is doing less than College of the Dead Graduation Day did, but it's mermaids, not zombies. So that happens sometimes. And, the market does what the market does. People buy what they want to buy. Also, when people see the book done, you get additional sales after the book is in print. But this took me years to get this book done and get this book going, get this book out. And we're actually working on new layouts for these 6-panel pages. Chris Rankowitz has helped me with it. He's from my original studio, Personality Comics, where we had like 30 artists and writers working in-house at the studio. And Chris is an incredible talent. So yeah, we're actually working on the layouts so we can have more dynamic layouts for the interiors, which is something I would have never done if not for Comicsgate. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I
really is
too. Yeah, it's a cool project. It's about a naive teacher who joins a team of rebels determined to overthrow and kill an evil mermaid queen. So it's sort of my Game of Thrones, but all with mermaids. And you guys can definitely check it out. epicmermaids.com. Link is in the description. So we're very close to $11,000 on it. So I'm very excited about it. I'm glad people want to see it at all. We do these projects that we're passionate about, but when we do a project, there's a very limited amount of like market testing where you go and you start asking people, well, what type of project do you think you'd like to see? Do you want to see Wolverine kind of mixed with Superman, or, do you want a mermaid? Do you want a zombie? So you kind of just do the project that you really want to do. Then you see how people respond. Why not is right. Hey, Tank Ferret.
I'm 40
Thanks,
years
Lord.
old now, and you know, I took a year off from drawing my book that I want to work on, Children of the Grave, just to work on this website. And I got to tell you, there's so many new creators since I launched it have come on board and said, you know, can you feature my thing? And some of these guys, maybe they only have like 5 or 10 subscribers, or they just started their YouTube channel, and they're trying to get as much attribution and attention as possible. And so that's what I was looking for when I started doing it, because I did a few drawer streams, and I'm like, well, art streams, maybe that's not the way to go. What can I do to, to really, get a channel going? And then, you hear a lot of great advice, build your platform. So I said, I'll build a fucking platform. All right. I'll build the biggest one I possibly can. I know how to do a website. Maybe that could be something that's in addition to everything that's already there. And it just kind of grew out.
Other websites. Have you built other websites before?
No, not like this would be. This is probably the best website I've ever done. But okay. I've worked on them in the past, and so mostly it's just like updating a sidebar, learning a little bit of PHP and HTML and JavaScript to just do one thing. And it's like there were like 100 different problems that this website had to tackle in order to work the way it does right now. It wasn't easy, I got to tell you.
Thank you for kicking its ass and getting it done. Hammer of Doom is asking an interesting question. Who's hosting this?
I don't know. Do I have to say? I don't want to
you don't have to say
who to go to try to cancel me.
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Don't do that. Good question though. Hammer of Doom says a lot of stuff, and I'm like, well, all right, that's a reasonable question, but you're right. So the answer to that question is they probably don't know they're hosting it, whoever it is. But there's nothing really, Comicsgate's not bad. There's nothing wrong with hosting Comicsgate. Comicsgate's a good thing to host. This is really cool. I like the idea of a submit a project link. I think it's a cool idea. Especially, you know why? Because like Vault's comment like that is good, because I get the feeling that when people see, like, you know what, you could just drop an Indiegogo link in there. People like to contribute. They like to be involved. So if they as long as they don't have to like do a whole thing with registering with a whole form or whatever. And for him, for example, he's going to be talking about somebody's indie project that is some small project that's between the cracks that's maybe getting missed, or maybe he saw it from Comics for Everyone Tampa or something like that.
Absolutely. Well, the one thing I have to do, though, and I'll just say this at point blank range, is someone could submit a project that's not someone who says that they're a Comicsgate creator. And so I've tried to do the best I could when I was going through the creators, just to make sure that they're generally supportive of the community. So there is some quality control there. So I do have to kind of verify it. So I can put that. That's why I did it the way I did it, was because I wanted to make sure that people who were going to be registering were going to be, for one thing, verify your email address. You have to hit me up in the Twitter DM to do that. So that way I didn't have people falsely adding somebody to the website. I had to think about that. Like what kind of security, quality control, but also kind of just like a
It's good to have some security.
It's telling me like, Robert, you put my stuff on your website and I don't want it there. And it's like, can you take it down? Yeah, I'll take it down. I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything like that. I hope that this is a, kind of like a public service to everyone, and that it helps.
Yeah, of course.
If it sells one book, that would be great.
No, it's going to sell more than one book. Tampa is the promo king. Volt Cobalt says that is true. Comics for Everyone.
No, Tampa is a huge competition. Huge competition.
You're not competition.
We love Tampa.
Like, you guys are not competition whatsoever. In that he's just out there trying to support Comicsgate.
He's so much better at it than me.
Well, he's so
much better than me.
He's a great guy. Are you guys friendly? Do you know each other?
Oh no, I follow Tampa on Twitter. I'm retweeting his stuff all the time. I'm jealous of how he's able to do it, and like he doesn't need to do any of these bells and whistles. He's just like, here's the projects. Here's 7 great projects to back today.
Well, his big thing is he does scout out campaigns. He does get people to follow him on Twitter. He's very strategic about building his following. He's got I don't know if he's got up to 10,000 subs yet, but he has become a pretty important platform because he can push sales. He
Absolutely.
can get exposure because people are
Well, so
following
good at
him. Yeah, and people are following him. And they understand that's crowdfunding. But you know what? I would contact him and just say like, hey, I don't know if you've seen my site yet. If you have any suggestions or any way you'd want to coordinate, definitely let me know, because I could see you coordinating with him. I could see you coordinating with the Creator Go guy, and IndieCron too, potentially. I mean, I don't know. IndieCron's not Comicsgate only or anything, but sometimes people just have a good idea. I mean, it was funny because I was trying to think of this before, like, well, maybe we could set you up with either Comics for Everyone, Tampa, or Michael Bancroft is featuring. I'm featuring a lot of projects too, so anyway, I can help. But Michael Bancroft's featuring projects. He's always out there supporting Comicsgate projects. There's a lot of people are doing just like different promotional things, and they can do a complementary effort maybe somehow. So I really haven't thought it through. I would have thought I could have thought of something by now. It's a little difficult, but just to get friendly with people, and sometimes an idea comes from nowhere,
Well, one thing that I think we could do is, I mentioned this earlier, is that this website could absolutely be a blog where people say you want to write a review. Are there any reviewers out there and they would like to, have a column on comicsgate.org and write about the comic book industry, what's going on in Comicsgate, or just pop culture? You want to write about Star Wars and Gina Carano getting fired or anything? Like, we could do writers. No, easily. And people could this can be a blog that people can write on. It's not merely a YouTube aggregator. I think of that as
what we got to do
like
is
a
this.
bonus.
Then.
Like, what if there was
Here's
news content on here?
Do you have a Twitter account?
Whatever drives traffic is.
Do you have a Twitter account for this? You got to create a Twitter. All right.
I do.
So pick a something. Like.
I need to create one.
All right. So create a Twitter account, and then you could at me in the Twitter account, and Zaid Comics. You can do whatever you want with Phil. He'll go with it. Phil's cool. But like, you can add a couple of us in there. Sometimes people respond. One person out of 10 or one person out of 30 might say, "Hey, please don't add me in this," or if they don't want to be part of it or so. But you can just put people in and be like, "Hey, I'm looking to add articles," or "Hey, I'm looking for whatever it is that you're looking for, articles, pop culture articles, or something like that." Also, you can look on other websites that have contributors, and if their Twitter handles are in there, you can contact those people as well and say, "Hey, if you want to contribute an article, I'm looking for some content for comicsgate.org." If you're looking to do that, but you just have to kind of get the word out that it's something that you're looking for. And the one thing I would say is just be careful to make it as easy it is for you to do as possible, so it just doesn't become this monster project,
Well, that's what happened when I was coding it. Fortunately, what I did when I made it, it's all the automated features were designed so that I wouldn't have to spend any time on Facebook promoting it. When I get a Twitter account going and I can start pushing content from here, maybe I just do the projects. Maybe I say, well, the videos is one thing, but people are looking for projects. Like, what's going to get the most traffic, the most retweets, and get people either onto Indiegogo, which is the number one goal, to get people to back these projects. It could be a end goal. But whatever gets them to that stage and gets them to subscribe to those YouTube channels. If it's both, then I'll post both of them things. If it's just the projects, because one of the things is so much content. Like, how much promotion is too much promotion? Where when people are following, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, that's spam. I can't possibly."
I think would be a good. I think it'd be a good thing to do is let's identify a few people that are promoters. Obviously, like. You have a promotional tool. Comicsgate.org is a promotional tool. It can be much more than that, but it definitely fits the category of promotional tool. Second, IndieCron is a promotional tool. Now, they're not all Comicsgate, but they are a promotional tool. Sometimes, they can be of some use that way. Creator Go /CG is a promotional tool, right? So, and in addition to that, I would definitely say Tampa is a promotional tool. Now, I've seen other people recently do like copy what Tampa's doing every now and then. They put my Mermaids book in it, and I freaking love it. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I think we sold some books that way, not from Tampa for sure, from Comics for Everyone. But even like when other people copy him, it's good. But anyway, the point is, if you could have a page that just shows like, some graphic that represents the person, Comics for Everyone, just grab a link of his, I don't know, some link or tweet that, some visual that represents him.
Right.
Maybe one of his tweets or something, and just write 2 sentences. A Comics for Everyone at Tampa2 on Twitter is a great promoter. Make sure you follow him.
So promote the promoters and
well, I would start by, let's create a category that we include you in, and then maybe Michael Bancroft wants to be included, maybe not. You may not consider that he does. I don't know how people want to be viewed, but after you get like you in there on that page, you got Tampa on there with Comics for Everyone. You got Indicron on there, which I know he's willing to feature CG projects, and then add. Did I forget one? Jesus Christ! But however many we have, 3 or 4 to start with, and then anyone else who wants to be included in that on that page, and then that could maybe get some conversation going about like, well, what could we do if we all want to push someone and help them out, like the Mermaids. We want to get Mermaids to 15,000. How are we going to do it? No, but if there's something new that's coming up, like I am friendly with Tampa. We've known each other a while now, so. He'll mention to me sometimes like, hey, Adam, have you seen this project? I think you should interview this person. And things like that, where we can collaborate a little bit. And if there's somebody that I shouldn't miss out on, or if I see somebody that I think he should not miss out on, I'll message that over to him. Although he's usually very sharp and he already kind of knows about it. But the point is just to kind of collaborate with some other guys with promotion, I think would be a cool idea. And then maybe we do think of a way that we can zero in on Magic Cop 2, The Electric Boogaloo, whatever the next Magic Cop title is going to be. It will be magical, and it's coming soon. So we want to be able to, maybe we can all do a push if we know something is coming, because people don't. The one thing with Comicsgate is nobody's on their own. If you're part of Comicsgate, you're not doing whatever you're doing is not by yourself. Like, you are part of the community, so everyone kind of does care a bit about what the hell is going on with everyone else. And we also want everyone to be as successful as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Orbital Hub says, link art to real life dynamics like Space Force Guardians eyeing a lunar mining base. I had a feeling that I couldn't see what it was that Orbital Hub wrote. It seemed interesting. I was like, I don't know what it is. But I just saw link art to real life. I'm like, well, that's going to be interesting. This is interesting. I don't necessarily know what you mean. But
it's like a NASA comic. But the Guardians are the Space Force. But that's the military branch, though, right? So that because they call the Guardians.
Space Force Guardians eyeing a lunar mining base. Okay. I mean, it's an idea for a comic.
Sure. 100 years in the future, the Guardians are trying to secure trade routes to and from Mars, but there's space pirates everywhere. And oh boy, they keep on stealing all of our platinum or something.
Sons of guns. How dare they? So people we got to get a Twitter account going, because a lot of people in Comicsgate are talking Twitter.
That's absolutely. I wanted to get Facebook and Parler going first because I thought that would be harder, and I wanted to kind of establish.
You know what? Here's what I found though.
Satellite.
Let me tell you, the most shocking thing I found out about when I got involved with the Comicsgate people is the first thing I found out that was shocking was, whoa, these people are just very cool. Just because I want to create comics, are like, oh, a brother, someone who wants to create comics. That's great. Let me just kind of like support you and ask you more about your project and, not look at you skeptically. Let me support you. How can I help you? And hey, do you know this guy? He can help you with that. Like, the very, very open community where people are just like, hey, we're interested in what you're doing. And then they've heard that I've done comics before. It's not my first comic. So I had a background in publishing comics prior to Comicsgate. And people were, so supportive of that. So very welcoming. That, not that everyone normally turns me away, but it's strange to walk into a community of people that are just so cool and have such open arms just because we're all interested in the same things. That was great. The other thing is that because our DNA in Comicsgate is social media, it's really at our core. If you cut Comicsgate open, in the center would be social media, whether it's Twitter or YouTube or the combination of both of them. So it's kind of amazing that that's everyone who you start talking to. Not only are they welcome you into Comicsgate, they want to support your project and try to get you in the right direction. They're also influencers, and they're also backers. Like people inviting me on their YouTube channel to do an interview with them was so great and so helpful. I really appreciate, everybody doing it. Red Gaze, Ethan had me on, Ethan Van Sciver had me on, but a lot of people had me on. But Red Gaze and Simon Sim Poitier were some of the first people to have me on their channels and recommend me to other people. And that was great. But I was just amazed to see that, there's a social media core of influencers that can help you promote and network and be successful with what you're trying to do. You have to do it on your own, but you're not going to be completely alone. There's going to be people supporting you. So the point is, it would be great for you to have a YouTube presence too, but at least to have a Twitter account would be great, because there's a lot of people that will become instantly aware of this, and it'll become more viral just by the nature of having a Twitter account. Luis,
I just got to come up with a good name for it that identifies the website and definitely identifies it as Comicsgate. I don't know. I doubt the Comicsgate handle is available on Twitter.
No,
I'm
probably not.
pretty sure someone's probably already.
Just like Comics for Everyone, his account is at Tampa too. It makes no sense. In fact, before it was Comics for Everyone, it was something very forgettable. I forgot what it was, but it wasn't Comics for Everyone. And he changed it to that. So you can actually get an @ account and then name your name in the front, anything you want. It can be comicsgate.org at comics lover or something, or comics promo, whatever it would be. And you can even change that @ as well on your account, apparently. So
that's true. That's true.
Slightly more complicated. Luis says, if you start a promotional Twitter, don't interact with SJWs. Just let us do it, but don't interact. Yeah, just post. Yeah, you'd want to post. You don't want to fight with people. You're not going to fight with people.
Well, I can set it up to do pretty much what the Facebook and the Parler are already doing, which is to get this stuff instantly up there. So like you said, it's not too much of a headache. If I can get more attribution, pull more information from the project itself to include those in the post and come up with a kind of unique way of displaying it. So it's not just a link, not just a picture and a link and the title. It should be the best social media is going to be something that has a personal touch to it. So I'm going to experiment with ways to do that on such a massive scale, though. It's like, how am I going to get everyone's projects up there? It's like, I want to be fair to everyone and promote as many projects as possible. And not necessarily play favorites or anything like that. So I'm going to work on the code and get the Twitter account up immediately.
Heavily promote everyone's projects as long as the characters are mermaids, which would include mine as well as Phil from Zaid Comics. Only kidding. Whatever you're doing now, it's very good. Keep to it. Kingdom Comics makes a point. Now, look, not everybody has the same experience. Not everybody has the same expectations. Kingdom Comics has made suggestions to people about 3D printing, and it went well for them. And 3D printers are cheap now, and you can print your own toys, which I didn't know. Thank you for suggesting that. Actually, Chris Rinkowitz does toy stuff. My buddy who's helping me with Mermaids production, and he and I have talked a little bit about toys. And Kingdom Comics is saying he did not get really a shout out or a thanks for that. So firstly, Kingdom Comics, thank you for that suggestion, because making toys is like a dream come true for like 99.9% of everybody making comics. Patrick Parnell is doing Johnny Phantasm toys that I always like to say started out looking like a freaking bar of soap that was carved in prison. Johnny Phantasm originally, and he knows that I say that. I'm not denigrating him. And when I saw him show the first rough of Johnny Phantasm, I was encouraging because I was like, I know he's happy about it. It doesn't look right to me. I hope it doesn't come out looking like this, but if it does, he's showing his work. He's showing his prototype. People will see what they're going to get for the money, but I'm going to encourage him because I think it's amazing he's making toys, but it didn't look right. As time went on, the Johnny Phantasm toy took shape and it looked amazing. And now he's got physical samples of the book of the toy, and they really do look incredible. For anybody who hasn't seen it, just look at Johnny Phantasm toy, and you'll see it looks freaking amazing. And I think he's sold out of them or very close to selling out of them. But
that's
Kingdom
amazing.
Comics, yeah, no, it is, and he's learned how to make toys now, and he's very sharp about it. It's very impressive. So
Awesome.
Kingdom Comics is helping. He suggested 3D printer.
He says he has a degree in 3D animation. What is it? Is that to say that he can?
Well, he was talking about a 3D printer. Oh, you have a degree in 3D animation. Very cool. Yeah, look, there's some incredibly talented people. See, this is the thing. Like, I have some expertise and some talents. Oh, you're very welcome, Kingdom. And thank you for your suggestion. And sorry you were discouraged. We're all imperfect people. So I know I've rubbed some people the wrong way here or there or whatever it is. And part of it's just if people are screwy or rude sometimes, it's just like we all have our own, strange little social ticks or whatever, or weirdness to us. So I do get the sense, though, that this is a very welcoming community, and I think we do pretty much appreciate each other. But I have even Vinny Tartamella made a great suggestion for this printer called Mixam, and he found them. And Vinny is unbelievably meticulous when it comes to the delivery of his work. His books are shipped in perfect condition. He almost absurd. Yeah, he goes to the absolute, almost absurd National Geographic levels of what he wants the quality and perfection to be and how his work is presented. So, but he's an artist and he wants this stuff perfect. So he's
it is perfect. I gotta say, City This was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
I have
and the Through the Woods hardcover book. I mean, that's a tearjerker. Like, if you want to, the best ghost story you're going to read in comic book form, graphic novel form, Through the Woods hardcover edition, absolutely recommend it. I believe he and his brother worked on that together, and it's just that's an incredibly moving story.
So, but Vinny found Mixam for us, and Mixam, it has not worked for everybody. There's a couple guys used them and didn't like it. I've used it. Phil has used it. Zaid Comics, Lost Pages, and Magic Cop, and some other guys have used them too. Rob Muerto even used them for fulfillment because Rob Muerto is located, I think he's in Portugal or something. He's in another whole country that they did the drop shipping for him. But the point is, they're a great vendor. They've been a great resource, and it's very hard to do all of this stuff on our own, even as we're doing it. But you've got Kingdom Comics recommending look into 3D printing toys. I've recommended Mixam since Vinny has recommended Mixam. I try to always, as much as I can, remember to. It's not that I found Mixam or anything like that. Vinny did find him, and he deserves the props for that. But sometimes, when you get caught up in talking about this stuff, we forget to mention, where it all came from. But the whole thing is our attitude is I'm not an artist, but I'm a creator, in my way. Everybody is creative people here. And we're all trying to pull together. And if one of us can help the other, that's a great thing. Your support, Robert, of Comicsgate Books back in 200 projects is fantastic. It's amazing. And doing this website is amazing. And one of the ways we can support each other is just sharing each other's projects on social media. It really does equal selling of books, and also thanking the guys like Robert who put together a whole website. Hey man, thank you so much, the website looks great. Things like that's a huge help. Just the encouragement.
I'm paying for it out of pocket, but you know what, it's not that expensive to do it, and now that the time's already been put in The only chore is like adding new creators is it can take a little while, you know, more than 15 minutes. But to add a new project for a creator that's already on board, I can get that done in 3 minutes. So, you know, as we identify all the Comicsgate creators and get them into one place, it's going to be even easier to manage this going forward. And so I appreciate you, Adam, so much. Thank you, you know, for letting people discover Comicsgate.org. I hope that people are liking the Facebook page, and because I want to, you know, everyone's like a kind of like a messenger. It's like you know people, you have friends and family. They don't know about Comicsgate, but maybe they're on Facebook. I bet you they're on Facebook. That's the largest social media in the world. And so my hope is that this can help people find it that have never heard of it before, and we bring in more and more customers, and just a few zeros behind these numbers that you see on Creator Go. I think that everyone could be really liquid and people could really be doing this full time.
You know what you could try to do? You could do even a little spin-off. Like, here's a suggestion for a spin-off. Even a Twitter account called like Comicsgate Videos. If you can set up an automated thing where all these subscribed YouTube channels had one Twitter account that every time there was a new YouTube video from any of those channels and it sent a tweet out, you know, just Comicsgate Videos. Boom. Like just that. I'll bet a lot of people would want to follow that. And if you just keep it literal, keep it, you know, religiously and literally just to that, no other promo, at least start it that way. Like, we're just like, look, if you follow this Twitter account, you're going to get this summary of tweets that's going to be the YouTube videos, because there's no one is organizing, you know, whatever it is. I don't know how many channels it is, 30 channels, 40 channels, whatever the hell it is.
That's a good net.
Right. I mean, if you're already
150
channels, how many different channels?
No, on Comicsgate.org. I mean, for one for every creator. So I have to count them up again. But it's quite substantial. We have over
how
150.
How difficult would it be to create a YouTube feed if you're already having those collected? Like, can you do that automated?
Really easy. It's really easy to get that onto Twitter. That was my next step in the beta, was to move on to Twitter and to create and have an account that would do basic that. And it could do everything. I mean, it could be that it does the videos and the projects, and that's what people want.
Just do the videos.
They want both.
Just for now. If you do the videos, honestly, it's enough to start, and then you can maybe, because you might. That's a significant value, I think. I mean, because we can have, I guess we can do our own playlists. You know, I'm subscribed to probably 50 of those channels, I think. But you know, stuff comes in and then it goes out and then it kind of gets lost. I'd even like to see us do an app that was just a Comicsgate video app.
That's all very doable.
That's a whole different story. But I think the functionality of having a Twitter feed that would have the new Comicsgate videos on it, and just start with that, because it seems like it's very straightforward and very simple. And if it could be automated, let's see if it's something that people are interested in. You know, let's see if it's something that you know, gets it going. You know, just kind of like gets things popping, because I don't think there's anybody that's interested in Comicsgate and interested in YouTube with Comicsgate that wouldn't want to be on that list. I have I don't think it's comicbook.com or something. It's an app that aggregates news stories from comic book sites. So I go to that if I'm looking for video ideas, because it does a nice job of aggregating them, you know, very quickly. There's also like 10 other websites that I check for new stories for video ideas. But having a cool little Twitter account that I could go to and be like, okay, let me just check these new tweets and just see links to all these videos, and then the thumbnail on the video, as long as Twitter feels like presenting it that day, would be neat. The other thing is that translates easily over to Facebook, probably. So you could also publish it where, you know, so if you have your 2,000 likes on Facebook and you started using that as a feed for Facebook, I think we're gonna find some people that become familiar with the channels. The YouTube channels is what makes us kind of special as creators.
I think
Is
so.
one of the one of the main things, because you have access to us, you have access to me, you have access to Ethan, you have access to the gorgeous and talented Cecil, you have access to John Malin, you have access to all of us, and there's a whole world of things that you can find out about. And there's some of us like very impressed with what they do with the Jack Show, where they do hours and hours. There's never enough time like in the day to keep up with all the content. But you know,
Pure
it's a
nonsense. The Jack Show is so much fun.
yeah, and it's really, you know, it. What I noticed is people like to spend time with people on YouTube. You know, YouTube is great.
Absolutely.
You know, look, if you have 18 people in your house and there's people around all the time, it's great. But some of us, especially with working from home, there's not a lot of other time that you have to spend around people. So it's fun to spend time around Malin and Anna and Cecil and whatever other screwy individual, Kelsey, Witten, whatever, whoever, Narwhal, whoever's showing up.
Right.
They're cool. They're fun.
And hang out with people in the chat
just cool to see.
Shoot the shit. And no, it's so much fun. That's
fun.
One of the promoting the videos and the channels. That was my number one goal, was like, how can we make it easier to find these channels and make it easier for people to subscribe to them?
We're on Twitter a lot. We're all on Twitter a lot. And you know what? You could after you have an easy feed, then we could look at hashtagging. Well, I guess you could do this pretty easily if you're feeding Twitter. Why can't we do hashtag Comicsgate in that along with that video? So if you're publishing my new video, whoever, Billy Tucci, Ethan's new video, hashtag Comicsgate, hashtag comics.
Well, the way I do it on Facebook right now, and it does get all the videos on there, is I have it display the creator's name, and then the entire description, because Facebook doesn't have a character limit. So I say everything that's in the video, that's you put into your YouTube description, that's what the post is on Facebook. It'll say by Adam post, and then whatever you put in the description, that's what it will appear for the video when it posts on Facebook. And so I can do something very similar for Twitter, where it will tell you who made the video, which is, I think, one of the, that's pretty important. It's like, there's Adam Post's latest video.
Keep it simple. You keep it as simple as you can, and whatever could be automated. Twitter could be very viral. I see some odd things happen with my tweets sometimes where they get shared or they get exposure because Twitter is so that's the one great thing. Social media is a great net to be able to bring new people in. And now you've got something that could go viral. Ethan doesn't even share his videos, I think, all the time. Sometimes I'm sharing them and I'm noticing I don't think he's sharing them.
You got to follow Sheila Aliens, and she'll post when Ethan's doing the live stream.
I will always follow Sheila Aliens. She's a lot of fun. I do follow Sheila Aliens. But what I think is I can see real value in an automated Twitter post of all those Comicsgate video channels. And that might evolve your site. It may become that your site it winds up, evolving more around that functionality. There's definitely some good functionality in that. And it's really a strength that we have in Comicsgate. Like, get to know the creators, get to know about the projects, find out more about pop culture. And like, there's your article content, really, because that's what we're doing. We're doing article content.
Right.
And then you could also have something else with related media if you want to feature, Nerdrotics or Site or Clownfish or, any of those other like guys that, they're not necessarily Comicsgate, but they're comic, whatever, the famous adjacent term, or they're pop culture related. So even rather than that's another whole separate thing to worry about. But yeah, I think that would be a great thing to do if it's not hard to do. And I think you do a hell of a job doing it, and you kind of never know what's going to take off. I want to create something that's easy for you to do that'll help create more virality to it.
I think breaking into social media is what's really going to be the rocket fuel. Because then you can suddenly people will be sharing it that only recently discovered Comicsgate, and then that brings in whole new groups of people who are like, wow, I had no idea there were this many projects, and wow, look at how much time and effort is being put into this, and the quality is really there. I mean, I got to say that the the writing is pretty good, and the art is amazing in CG. And I know it takes a long time to get some of these books produced. And I know if I did one, it would probably take me years just to get started and to really, because I want to get like I don't know, 50 pages done and then say, I'm pretty much done with the book, guys. I'm going to launch my Indiegogo now. Hopefully by then I have 1,000 subscribers.
What you're going to find is when you're ready to do your project and you're getting a little more serious about, like, you know what, I kind of would like to do my project. Let me start seeing if I can plan this. When you decide you want to do it, you're going to find there are some people that are very happy to talk to you and help you figure out how to go about planning it out and be realistic about it and get it out there and get it into the Comicsgate network. If that's what you decide that you want to do, you'll have people lining up, and you'll be surprised, who will support you and help you even before doing this project. But even especially with doing this project, I want to help you. I think you'll see eventually Comics for Everyone is going to have his own project coming out. And when he does, people are going to be lining up and fighting to support him. Anybody who you see around,
they're going to back the shit out of that.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we can, and he's going to do just fine. But yeah, I like the idea of this Twitter feed. I think another great thing about it is with like the Gina Carano videos and General Comics videos, and you could put your boy Zach in there as well. He qualifies for Comicsgate. His stuff is very viral. I find myself sharing his videos sometimes, and other people aren't sharing them. He just doesn't have as much of a presence on Twitter as you think he could. And him having a presence on Twitter with his videos can draw more people into Comicsgate as well. So let's do that. Let's get that rocking as soon as we can. And I think this site will explode with success.
All right. I'm on board. I'm creating the as we speak. I'm just looking for the best name right now.
All right. Screw around with it.
I will.
I will harass you and make sure you get it done. I'm very excited for you. I'm excited for us. It's great for Comicsgate. Guys, we will wrap it up. I want to thank Robert for spending time with us. I also want to thank SDA and Luis for help and suggestions. I want to help anybody who wants to make comics. So you can hit me up on @ComicsWeLove. Appreciate you, Kingdom Comics. Jason Black, thanks for putting a little effort into this. I know you're trying to give all the credit to Robert, so we'll let Robert take it. Jay Lee also says if anybody in the Comicsgate artists needs aids with storytelling, you're open to help out with some writing. So yeah, Jay Lee is on Twitter as well, and he offer. One of the great things about writing is you want to have other people to read your work and give feedback on it. I've been writing some new stuff and for some new projects. I've been got great feedback from Adam Friended. So a lot of times I will float towards the Adam Friended part of the conversation. Be like, well, let's look at Adam Friended's project. Like, yeah, he's been a true good actual friend, and his project, Supervillains Anonymous, is doing very well. Great to see you again, Faris, as always. Tarek Tank Farah, great to see you. Orbital Hub, thank you for that interesting suggestion. It's going to hit me later and be like, aha, I totally know what you meant by then. Hammer of Doom, your interesting things that you said are really appreciated. Zaid, good to see you. Hex Harper, great to see you again. Great to see all you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting us. And being
hail the chat.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. And share this video for people that you think might be interested more in Comicsgate.org. And Robert is cool people. He's open to suggestions as well. And you know what? Let's just keep growing this thing and creating a place that we can do our thing and be successful. Lord Ravener wraps it up with great site, and hail Adam for highlighting these great people week after week. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep highlighting more great creators. Hex Allen's coming on Monday night. We'll have the Company Man guy on soon. Plenty more projects to cover. And if you guys see a project, or if you want to have me feature one of your projects that you're doing, just hit me up on Twitter. And there are other guys that are going to be coming as well. I just have to kind of get back into the swing of things and make sure I'm doing this on the regular so we don't miss it. Yeah, Jason's good people. Jason's good people. We'll look out for him as well when he's ready with his projects. All right, guys, have a great night. I will see you again soon. If I don't see you, you know I will miss you. That's what I always say, right, Robert?
Yep.
Robert agreed.
Peace.
All right, man. Be good.